Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It's Sensei Pink and I'm coming back to you guys for my review on Lord Olympus episode 123. Now don't forget, go follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and hit that subscribe and notification button to see more weekly videos. Now in this episode we pick it up from last week, when Hades saw his comb in the little lady's hair, and after seeing the comb in the little lady's hair, Hades just completely loses it and ends up embarrassing Hecate, which she's pretty upset about because he's just not taking a dignified approach to this, but instead this whole episode, he's just acting like a spoiled king, sort of. Now, after getting the comb and heading to the pawn shop, the two begin questioning the shop owner about, Percy and the comb, but she keeps reiterating the privacy policy. Now, in true spoiled king fashion, Hades tells the shopkeep that he could just have her establishment bulldozed over right now, and, after some remarks from her about, the kings being able to do whatever they want and it's just so unfair, Hades begins to go off once again about what he wants. But after he says the word wants, he really calms down and gets very somber, saying that, he just wants to know if the owner of the comb is safe. Now, after he laments over the fact that he doesn't know Percy as well as he thought he did, the shopkeep then begins to tell him about her encounter with Percy. In this flashback, we see Percy trying to sell some stuff to get some money, but after, going through her textbooks, her broke down laptop, and, even her mom's pin and whatnot, all of those are denied. And the shopkeep ends up saying, she can work with the comb. Although she's reluctant to sell the comb and she feels very ashamed because it came from someone who she cares about, she ends up selling it, obviously so that she can have some cash. As we cut to the present in the middle of this flashback, we then have the shopkeep telling Hades that, Percy said one last interesting thing before she walked away after the shopkeep asked her what a being like her is doing in the underworld. We then end this episode of the flashback of Percy with Percy telling the shopkeep that her reasoning for being in the underworld is that the sun never touches the underworld and it's the perfect place. Now first, I love how although Hades is the king, Hecate is like his superior in this episode. Second, I just found it funny to see, spoiled King Hades trying to get what he wants. And lastly, I think the fact that Percy is hiding in the underworld because the sun never touches it is setting things up for so much more in the future. So with that said, let me jump into my prediction for episode 124. Now, no surprise, I don't have a prediction for episode 124, but I do sort of have a prediction, for the future, future episodes, maybe after they find Percy, or if Percy decides to just show up on her own. I feel like, while Percy is in the underworld, she's gonna learn more about her red-eyed self, and maybe, her disdain for the sun, aka Apollo, it's gonna be so great. Maybe while she's in the underworld, she's gonna come across the pomegranate fruit, in the OG story. In the OG story, Hades gives Percy this pomegranate, she eats it, and she eats 6 seeds. So maybe, while she's in the underworld, she's gonna find that pomegranate tree or something like that, have 6 seeds, and that's why she's gonna be able to stay in the underworld. Now, I think it would be interesting if she took 6 seeds knowing the full repercussions of eating this pomegranate seeds on purpose, so that she can escape the sun. And with that, she would be able to escape a lot. So let's say she would be able to escape her mom, Apollo, if he tried to marry her. So all the stuff that's going on, and obviously Apollo wants her to be his bride, her mom's controlling, and she wants to be with Hades, so that would just be beneficial. And if she didn't take them on purpose without knowledge of what it would do, I think maybe after everyone finds her and maybe she's forced to go home with her mom, or forced to maybe like marry Apollo, you know, then, well, like they'll find out like she can't live in the sun for a full year. She has to go to the underworld, and you know, that's kind of how she's gonna gain her own freedom or so. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget, go follow me on both Instagram and Twitter and smash that like button if you enjoyed watching. And finally guys, hit that subscribe and notification button to see more of me, Sensei Ping.